Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're making something that a lot of people have asked me about. I'm just back from the Master Bud's World Fusion Tour, and on that tour I made tiramisus. I made them for over 100 people. I must have made 9 or 10 of them, and I'll tell you, they really killed it. And there's a misconception about tiramisus. When you go out, 60% of the tiramisu that you get, it really isn't real tiramisu. There are a few key ingredients that really make it a tiramisu, and today I'm going to show you what they are and exactly how to make a fabulous tiramisu. I'm talking about a tiramisu that when someone puts that fork in their mouth, they look at you with those eyes wide open and they go, holy shit, this is the best stuff I've ever had. That's the tiramisu we're going to make today. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our dip. Now, real tiramisu, made with espresso. The average person, including myself, I don't have an espresso machine. Chances are, you don't either. And what's the first thing someone says? Well, just make coffee, it'll be the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, okay? So what I do is I'll go out and I'll buy this. Instant espresso. Granted, it's not the espresso that's gonna come out of a $2,000 machine down at Cafe Della Sport, but it's better than coffee. It's much better than coffee. Espresso is where you need to start to make your tiramisu. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make that dip, okay? I'm making 2 today. Giving one to my buddy George, who's making this video for me, and then I'm going to keep one for myself. Won't last a day. All right? So I'm going to make 2 tiramisus. So if you only want to make 1, feel free to cut this recipe in half. I suggest you make 2, because they ain't gonna make it. 36 ounces of boiling water, okay? Unfortunately, I couldn't find the jar. So each one of these comes in a 6-ounce pack. So we're gonna use 6 packs, 6 ounces each, to make 36 ounces of espresso, okay? You're gonna boil that water, and we're gonna mix this together. With that 36 ounces of espresso, we're going to mix 3 ounces of frangelico, 3 ounces of kahlua, and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Okay? So I'm going to get that water boiling. We're going to put that together, and we'll be back. Okay, our water is boiling. Going to come off. We're going to take our packets. Like I said, 6. 6 makes 36 fluid ounces. 6 ounces a packet. Alright. Make sure you get it all out. Pour that in. Give yourself 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Like I said, 3 ounces of each. This is really a key ingredient. Frangelico. When people say they're putting frangelico in their tiramisu, they're making a good tiramisu. Okay? That's going to go in. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this off to the side and let it cool down. Because you definitely don't want this to be hot when you're dipping your ladyfingers. You want this to be room temperature. Okay? So we're going to mix that up good. I'm going to put it off to the side, clean all this up, and we're going to get ready to make our mascarpone spread. Okay guys, the first thing we're doing is we're separating a dozen eggs. Whites and yolks. And you know, this takes a lot of patience here with the whites and the yolks. I'm going to separate these eggs, and then we're going to be back to start the mixing process. Alright everybody, here it is. A real tiramisu has raw eggs. Alright, that is why 60% of the time you're not getting a real tiramisu. Restaurants, people, they're afraid to give you raw eggs. Well, the bottom line is, if your tiramisu doesn't have raw eggs, you're not eating a real tiramisu. That's the way it is. Raw eggs. I know everyone's going to get, oh, yeah, raw egg. No, that's the way it is. Raw eggs. That's why it needs to stay refrigerated. After we make these, they're going to go in the fridge 24 hours. You make these a day ahead of time. Put it in the fridge 24 hours. You serve it, you put it back in the fridge. You got 48 hours. Okay, 24 hours in the fridge, and then you have 48 hours. 2 days. Whatever is left after those 2 days, you have to throw away. You have raw eggs. Exposed raw eggs after 3 days, throw them away. Trust me, the tiramisu is not gonna make it 3 days. Trust me. So we're gonna start right here. Remember, this is a double. I got 12 separated eggs. Okay, I'm gonna leave my egg whites back there. I'm gonna take my egg yolks right here. This is 15 tablespoons of sugar to a dozen egg yolks. Okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna beat this till it looks like lemon pudding. It's gonna take a good 5 minutes, and when it's ready, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, that is what 12 egg yolks and 15 tablespoons of sugar looks like after it's been mixing for 5 minutes. Alright, that's the consistency you need, and then you're ready for the star of the show. And of course, the star of the show is your 3 pounds of mascarpone cheese. This is it, mascarpone. This is what makes the tiramisu right here, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start folding this in. I do a couple of spoonfuls at a time, all right? Get it in, start it slow. Because this is when the mixer might start throwing stuff all over the place. So out of that 3 pounds, I'm probably gonna put it in thirds. A third, and then a third at the end. And you're gonna see it's gonna get pretty full, might start throwing some around, it's okay. All right, and now we're gonna put in the rest. Okay. That's for me. Okay. Take a look at this. Come on in. You see that? See that consistency? Okay, everybody. Here it is. There's your mascarpone, egg yolks and sugar. And what we've done is we've taken that off and I've switched to the 12 egg whites. I've also put on my whisking tool. And we're gonna start. And we're gonna whisk these till they're stiff peaks. So, you see what 12 egg whites looks like after you whisk it for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Stiff peaks, not coming out, alright? Don't over whip it, because you don't want it to separate. Stiff peaks, alright? And what we're going to do is we're now going to fold these two together. So we're going to start with our mascarpone mix, and then now we're going to fold in these egg yolks. And of course this is why you get that fluffiness. This is how you get it, all right? And it can really only be done with raw eggs. Here we are, raw eggs. Guys, listen, don't get the misconception of the raw eggs. Don't be afraid to make this. This is the way you want to make your tiramisu. I promise you, it's going to be fabulous, okay? We're going to gently fold those in, all right? So this is a very delicate fold, up from the bottom. Grab the mascarpone, fold it in. We are going to finish incorporating this, and when we get back, we're going to be ready to assemble our tiramisu. Alright everybody, it's time to assemble our tiramisus. These are the lady fingers that I use. Any good Italian brand lady finger will do. And of course this stems back to my mother again. It's the 5-second rule, okay? So you take your 2 lady fingers, you dip them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull them out. You let them drip. That much. In they go. Alright? 2 lady fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see the air bubbles coming out. Then you let them drain. You have to let them drain. If you don't let them drain, the bottom of the tiramisu is going to look like a swamp. You don't want that. You'll know if you soak them too long because they're just gonna crumble apart inside the espresso. You won't even get them out. So you'll see, you'll put one or two in there a little too long, you'll try to pull it out, it'll turn to mush right in your hand. We're gonna do this and line the bottom of those two pans, and then we'll be back to spread our first layer of mascarpone. Here we are with our first layer of ladyfingers. And now we're gonna add our first layer of mascarpone. So what you wanna do is, you know, make a pretend line in half and in half. So we're gonna put a quarter of this and a quarter of this on each one. Okay? Right in there. And you spread it out. Nice and evenly. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna repeat step one and put another layer of ladyfingers on top of that. We have our 2 second layers of ladyfingers, and now we're gonna put our top layer of mascarpone cheese. And of course, same thing, 6 spoons. All right, get that out of the way, and we'll spread them around. Right, you see that, a little shallow there, don't be afraid, grab a little. And then, for your last step, what we're gonna do is, of course, when you get a tiramisu, it's sprinkled with that sweet cocoa powder on top. So that's what we got right there. Yeah, see a little shallow spot right there. All right. Now, we're gonna take our sweet cocoa powder and our sifter. We're gonna start to sift on top. You basically want to sift it on there till you don't see the white anymore. You just want to cover it. Try not to cover my floor. Right, there it is. Alright. So, the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cover these with tin foil tightly. You don't want the tin foil to touch the cocoa powder. You certainly don't want to use saran wrap, because if saran wrap touches this cocoa powder, it's going to stick, it's going to get moist, it's going to get discolored. It's not going to look very good. Okay? So you're going to wrap it tight with aluminum foil. You're going to put it in the fridge for 24 hours. And tomorrow, 24 hours from now, you're going to see magic when people pop this in their mouth. I would love to hear how you make out when you make your tiramisu. Please respond on the video. I'll always respond back. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, don't forget to live, laugh, and cook Italian.